Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of the Entertainment Chat. This episode is about Stranger Things, which is one of the most popular shows of the last decade, and it just ended in December, so I felt like it deserved its own episode of the show. And also, doing this as an episode now gives me more time to receive your MCU theories. If you haven't sent yours in already, leave it down in the comments. So here is your official spoiler warning for Stranger Things, and now let's get right into it. Okay, let's get started with season 1 of Stranger Things. So, this is a lot of people's favorite season. It's usually between seasons like 1 and 4, and for a very good reason. This season was amazing. Oh my god, it's so good. It's such a great introduction to the show and the whole world, and it just had such a great plot. Yeah, they really made it interesting, with Will getting kidnapped and especially not knowing anything about the Upside Down so early on. It was so interesting to learn everything as you go. For reference, I binged what was out of the show in early December, and then I watched season 5, volume 2, and the finale with the viewers when they came out. So I got to binge this, but I still didn't know very much about it. I mean, I knew Stranger Things was super popular. I knew Eleven had superpowers and her nose bled, but I also knew about the Demogorgons, but not much more than that. So it was very interesting to see. And I wasn't sure. I knew Will was in the show in the future, but I wasn't sure to what sort of degree. Was he actually gonna make it out? I don't know. Would he be normal after that? Which he was. But this season was just so interesting. Oh my god, Joyce with the Christmas lights, that was insane. It was so crazy to see all that. And it's all of the plot points of the season. Steve in this season, bro. Steve in this season. Oh my god, I hated season 1 Steve. Obviously, he got better later. But season 1 Steve, my number one enemy, bro. Hated that guy. Oh, and also Barb. Bro, Barb. I didn't want her to die. No. Oh my god, Barb. Apparently, the whole internet went insane over Barb. Well, oh, that was so shocking when she died. Oh my god, Barb. I miss Barb. They should have brought back Barb. No, they shouldn't have. They should not have done that. Good thing that they didn't do that. Oh my god. But yeah, in this season, they get Will out of the Upside Down. I'm trying to remember how they did that. Wait. I watched this whole show once, so gotta remember. Hold on. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, Joyce and Hopper pulled him out. They went into the Upside Down to the left. That's right. Okay. Yeah. So they got him out at this season, which is good. Obviously we don't want Will to die. Also, this show will have a thing for just killing off characters, except for at the very end. But, they killed off the guy who took care of Eleven when she first went into Hawkins, which made me so sad. Oh my god. He got killed for his kindness. That sucked. Eleven is such a, interesting character in this season, because she's still, in that traumatized mode. And you see her, slowly become more, comfortable. Is that the word that would go there? I don't know. But yeah, comfortable with the world. And her friendship with Mike, Dustin, and Lucas is just so amazing. Oh my god. And then she sacrifices herself at the end of the season, and they make us think she died, but she didn't. So, yeah. Okay, moving on to season 2, which is a lot of people's least favorite season, besides maybe season 5. And I kind of see why. This season was really forgettable, and it was kind of similar to season 1, a bit too similar. But it was still really good nonetheless. I really enjoyed it. I mean, everyone hates on episode 7, the episode with Kali, which is I mean, I definitely wasn't into it that much, but I don't hate it like a lot of people do. It's kind of weird to see all of that on the internet. And to be oh, well, I thought that one was just okay. And yeah, this is the season where Hopper officially becomes a father figure for Eleven. He's giving her the Eggos in the woods, and she's living in his cabin. That was so cool. And her and Mike reunited at the very end of the season. Oh my god. And they went to the snowball thingy. Is that what it was called? I think so. I think it was a snowball. Dang, now I gotta look it up. Wait. Yeah, it was the snowball. See, I'm right. I'm right about things. I know things. Oh, and also Bob was in this season. Bob was this season's major character death. And like I didn't like him at first, but he really like grew on me. So and I was like, "Oh my god, he's going to die. He's going to die." And then he made it out. And I was like, "Oh my god, he made it out." And then he died. And then he died. Yeah, and then he died. I can't believe that they did that fake out just for him to die anyway. Oh my god, not Bob, bro. Oh, and this is also the season where Max and Billy are introduced. Which Max is one of my favorite characters. And Sadie Sink will be in Spider-Man Brand New Day, which is really interesting. I'm excited to see who she will play, because they still haven't announced it. We still haven't gotten a trailer for that. But this is the season that Max and Billy are introduced, and I hate Billy so much. Hated him from the start. Oh my god, he sucks so much. Ugh. I hate Billy. I hate Billy, bro. Do not like him. Oh, also, this is the season where, like, Steve and Dustin's friendship starts. And yeah, and Steve becomes a good person in this season. Oh my god. Finally, Steve. I mean, he became a good person, like, towards the end of season 1, really. But this is, like, where he really becomes, like, a cool character in this show. And Steve and Dustin's friendship throughout this show, oh my god, it's so iconic. And it's, like, it goes through, like, a lot of phases, but it's one of the best friendships of this show. Probably, honestly, maybe the best friendship of this show. You know, it's really great. I love that dynamic with Steve and Dustin. And then, speaking of Steve and Dustin, moving on to season 3, which is my favorite season. Which, in this season, Steve and Dustin and Robin gets introduced. Robin's my favorite character in the whole show. Robin is my absolute favorite. So, yeah, Steve, Dustin, and Robin, and Erica, Lucas's little sister, are, like, infiltrating a base, like a Russian spy base thing inside of the mall, like in below the mall, which is such a weird concept. Like the Russians hiding under a mall, bro. It's so weird, but it's so cool. Like they made it really cool, and they're obviously there because of the upside down and like the energy or whatnot, and they want to get into the upside down because they want to. They want resources because they think they'll get power from it. Yeah, I love this season so much just because it has like all of the 80s nostalgia. I mean, I wasn't alive in the 80s, but I think like the stuff from that time is really cool. So I love seeing like Starcourt Mall and all the stuff there. And when, and when they finally escape the Russian base, like Back to the Future is playing. And we have the Robin's coming out scene, which is one of the most iconic scenes of the series, and I love that scene. It's awesome. And yeah, also during this season we see like Mike and Eleven's like relationship, even though they break up almost immediately because Hopper like intimidated Mike too much and it became a whole thing. It was like, oh my god. Yeah, it was so weird. Hopper's such like an overprotective father, but to be fair, I mean, being the father of 11 and also having a dead daughter, I get it. I get it. Well, being the father, quote unquote, of 11, I wanted to clarify because I know someone will comment. No, he's not actually the father of 11. I know someone was wanting to comment that. Oh, and also in the season they had the thing with like Alexei, the Russian guy. They kidnapped from the base with like Murray and Joyce and Hopper kidnapped the Russian dude. And then he dies. Like, oh my god, I grew to like him and then he died. Oh, this was also the thing, this was also the season where like Billy got possessed and oh my god. Billy getting possessed, bro. I hated Billy so much before. I hated him a lot more now. Him getting possessed and then like possessing all those other people, and then at the end they all like turn into the like monster thing. All the people. Oh my god, that was so weird. And then Billy sacrifices himself for Max, technically at the end of the season, and dies. Which I was glad to see Billy leave the show because I didn't like him at all. I wanted him to leave this show. So that was our major character death of season 3. It was Billy. We lost him. Trying to think of like what else happened in this season. But yeah, I really love this season. Okay, I remember now. This was the season where like Mike and Will and Lucas and Max and Elle were like investigating what was going on with like the Mind Flayer and Billy and such, and they like found out that Billy was possessed and they trapped him in that sauna, and then they went to that girl's house. Like the whole family was getting possessed. Yeah, their plot was kind of forgettable this season, honestly. Like, I mean, literally, I forgot what they did. So, yeah. Okay, also, this is the season with Never Ending Story. Like, Dustin and Susie saying that when she gave him, like, the password for the Russian base thingy. Oh my god. That's such an iconic moment of the show, and it's so funny. Like, it's just like so, it fits Dustin's character so well, I feel like. And then, and then Susie came back in season 4, and then we never heard of her after, so it's like, it's kind of weird because, like, Dustin in the group used Susie to save the world twice. Well, no. Dustin used Susie to save the world, and then he asked her to change his grades, which later made him valedictorian, and then he dumped her. That's insane. Dustin, bro. Oh my god. It's so weird that he did that. I mean, maybe there was, like, more stuff that we didn't see. They just didn't mention her at all in season 5, which is so weird. But yeah, that was season 3, my favorite. And then we have season 4. Season 4 was the other season that was a lot of people's favorite, besides season 1. But definitely not mine. Like, it's not really that close. I'd say season 1 is second place for me. And then season 4 is somewhere below. I don't know, it kind of gets weird. I mean, I get why this stuff had a lot. It had Vecna, which finally introduced the main villain of the show. And a lot of stuff happened, like, we learned a lot in the season about the Upside Down, even though, I mean, a lot of the major reveals for the Upside Down came in season 5, but there was still quite a lot in this season. And we learned about his backstory, how he was the son of Victor Creel, who was also introduced in the season. And he's killing those teenagers because 4 deaths will open a portal to the Upside Down that would, like, destroy Earth. He wanted to, like, merge the Abyss with the Earth. I don't think that was even revealed in this season, but that was his plan. And, like, Vecna's so weird. I mean, like, the concept of Vecna is so weird. Like, also the fact that we never saw him before this season feels kind of off, but I mean, I guess for, like, a linear show progression, that makes sense. And yeah, this is the season that had, like, one of the most iconic moments of Stranger Things, which is, like, Max listening to Running Up That Hill while Vecna was trying to kill her. Which is, like, yeah, that was a pretty big moment for this show. And also, this season had Eddie Munson! Oh my god. Eddie. I really like Eddie. I mean, I knew he was played by Joseph Quinn, who got popular because of this show, and is also in the Fantastic Four First Steps, which he does a really good job in. And he's also playing George Harrison in the Beatles movies, which is, like, 2 times Joseph Quinn is playing what's usually, like, listed as the 3rd member in a very popular group of 4 from the 60s. Johnny Storm and George Harrison. Which, it's so weird. But anyway, back to Stranger Things. This season's plots were more split up than usually, like, in a Stranger Things season, you have, like, the 3, like, plots of what everyone's doing, dealing with the Upside Down split up, and then they come together at the end. But they didn't really come together at the end of the season, which I didn't really like. I mean, we have, for most of this, like, 90% of the season, no, like, 98% of the season, Mike, Will, Jonathan, and Elle aren't even in Indiana, let alone Hawkins. That felt so weird. The thing about Joyce moving them to California anyway was so weird. And yeah, also, another thing with the season is that Joyce and Murray went to rescue Hopper from a Russian prison because he sacrificed himself at the end of season 3, which I forgot to mention, my bad. And actually didn't die, he was kidnapped by the Russians, sent to prison there. And, like, I feel like the thing about that is, like, I just wanted it to be over so bad. Like, I was actually kind of annoyed when it lasted the entire season, that plot. So yeah, I was just kind of waiting for that to be over. Also, how did they get a Demogorgon to Russia? That doesn't make any sense. How did they get one of those things there? I don't get it. But yeah, they did. That was a major part of the season. Then also Mike, Jonathan, Will, and also Argyle, who's only in the season, went on their, like, road trip across America trying to fix things, and they ended up in, like, a Surfer Boy pizza with Elle in, like, a saltwater thing, trying to stop Vecna. It was really weird. And then back in Hawkins, we had, like, Nancy and Dustin and Lucas and Max and Robin and Steve all trying to, like, clear Eddie's name because Eddie was getting blamed for the murders. They're also, like, avoiding, like, the basketball team, like Jason and his crew, which Oh my god, I hated the basketball team so much. Like, the thing with me when I'm watching, like, TV or movies is, like, if you write a villain character well, like, I'll really hate them, but I'll hate them to the point to where I want them off of my screen. Like, I hate them so much where it's just, like, I want them to be off the show because I do not like them and want them gone. So, any time where, like, the football team was on screen, I was just like, oh my god. Not the football team, bro. It was really annoying. And then they were the ones, like, investigating, Henry Creel, Victor Creel. They found out who Vecna was. And then at the end of the season, Vecna got Max, but didn't fully kill her, and she goes into, like, the coma, which, yeah, she's in a coma for a long time, yet she still graduated at the end of the show, which was insane. Like, how did you graduate? It doesn't make any sense. So, like, that was season 4. Yeah, it's definitely easily not my favorite season. I know a lot of people love it, and it's definitely got some great parts of it. Like, just because it was so split up, and, like, everything with, like, Hopper being in prison, and running away from, like, the football team that I hated, and then just, like, Mike and Will and Jonathan, being separated from everyone else, and also Brenner being back, and Elle getting kidnapped again. Oh my god, that was... I can't believe Brenner came back, but he died at the end of this season. Yeah, this whole season was just, like, it's so weird to me. But it's still good. Like, I still enjoyed it, for sure. And then we have the final season, the most recent season, season 5, which I know there's a lot of controversy around this season, but we'll get to that later, because it's towards the end. First, we have Volume 1, which was I really enjoyed Volume 1. It was really good. You had Derek, which, oh my god, Derek, bro, he's an insane character. And yeah, they had the thing where, like, Vecna was kidnapping the kids because he wanted them to help him, like, bring the Abyss down onto Hawkins and destroy the Earth. And that was, like, his whole plan. He wanted to get rid of Earth. And, like, this first half of the season, it was really cool. We had a lot going on. But anyway, yeah, like, this season cuts to a year after season 4, which most of the seasons did, like, a year later. But it's kind of weird how this season did a year later, because season 4 just, like, ends right when the giant hole in Hawkins opens up. And then season 5, they kind of, like, brush over it a little bit. And, like, we see that Hawkins is under, like, quarantine and no one can get out. And we see that they've just kind of, like, put metal plates over the cracks, which is insane. Like, they're just like, yeah, just cover it with the plate. Nothing about what happened. And they, like, put cameras up. And the military is, like, having a massive presence in Hawkins. And in this season, we also have the thing where, like, someone is trying to restart Brenner's program and get 11, Dr. K, which, oh my god, I hate Dr. K. So we had that whole thing where it's like, oh my god. The thing with, like, the plot of, like, 11 getting captured again is, like, I really wanted 11 to have a happy ending in the show. With, like, Mike, but they just refused to give it to her. It's like, did we really have to do this whole thing where someone's trying to restart Brenner's program? I don't think it was really necessary at all. It was bad. I didn't like it. It's definitely a bad part of the season. And we see that they're, like, sneaking into the Upside Down, doing their crawls, trying to figure out where Vecna is, trying to find him, even though it didn't matter because he was in the Abyss the whole time. And what they did for, like, explaining what, like, the time skip, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, in this volume, a lot of stuff happens. They kind of, like, Hopper gets trapped in the Upside Down. Steve drives his car with, like, Robin and Nancy and Dustin, I think. That's, if I remember correctly, yeah, into the Upside Down. And they get in there, too. And then, like, at the end of episode 4, it's like, at the end of this volume, Will gets powers because he's been possessed so many times that he just has powers now. Which is insane. Like, cool. Like, it's really cool that Will got powers. But also, like, oh my god, what? But yeah, it was good to have someone that could, like, someone else besides 11 who could actually do, like, real damage to Vecna and everything. Because the Demogorgons were, like, about to kill everybody, and Will saved them all, which is cool. And then we get to volume 2 of this season, which is kind of where things started to go downhill for everyone. And when I was watching it, it was like, oh, this is kind of bland, but I'm still enjoying it. I mean, like, not much was happening. There was an entire lead-up episode, which people didn't like the fact that there was a whole, like, episode where they just were, like, leading up to the finale. But But I thought that was fine. Like, I actually kind of like that they spent the time, like, properly getting everyone together and getting everything set up for the finale of the show. Also, like, Jonathan and Nancy broke up, which is, I mean, to be fair, it wasn't that shocking. And also, Steve told Dustin that Eddie died for nothing, which, to be fair, I think Steve was right. I do think that Steve was kind of right, but, like, dang. Because Dustin kind of, like, was very close with Eddie. Oh, yeah, did I even mention that Eddie died in season 4? Yeah, Eddie died in season 4. He was the major character death of season 4. Which is, like, dang. I mean, I really liked Eddie, but he just kept getting dug into a hole. You know, there was kind of like, oh, yeah. Made sense. And he had the Metallica moment in season 4, which is so cool. But yeah, anyway, they kind of had like that one where they fight each other and Steve apologizes, and they found in the upside down version of Hawkins, they found like Brenner's like plans and like research into Hawkins, which is really weird. And also, Kali came back because they had captured her, like the military had captured her, and she was in the upside down, which is like everyone hated that she was back. And to be fair, I did not like her very much, especially in this season because of what she was doing in this season, trying to get Elle to kill herself. But I definitely didn't like her. But like people were like outraged the moment they saw her come back, which was revealed at the end of episode 4. It is insane. Like I know people didn't like season 2 episode 7, but oh my god. But yeah, Kali came back, and in episode 7 we had Will's coming out scene, which is like it went on for so long, and then like he kind of like indirectly told Mike that he had a crush on him, it was so weird. But I mean, their friendship really got repaired through that, which is awesome. Yeah, okay, and then we have the finale of the show, which everyone hated this finale. I'm just gonna start off right now by saying I did not hate this finale. I did enjoy it. There has been a lot of criticisms that I've seen since I watched it that makes sense. Like, just the main one being that the fight with Vecna was shorter than Will's coming out scene. Which was... oh my god, that really puts it into perspective. Because it was definitely quite short. I mean, we see them walking in the abyss for, like, a long time. Yeah, they go, like, through the upside down. They go into the abyss. Steve almost dies. Which, oh my god, thank god they didn't kill off Steve. I did not want them to kill off Steve. I thought the two people they were most likely to kill off were like Steve or Jonathan, but they didn't kill anyone except for Kali, the one character that no one liked. They only killed Kali and maybe 11, but we'll get into that later. Which is like, it's insane. Like, it's the series finale. You're allowed to let a character die. It's okay to let a character die in your show. There's nothing wrong with it. So it was just kind of like insane that they did that. But yeah, I mean, I thought the fight itself was cool. Obviously, there being like no other monsters in there, like no Demogorgons or Demodogs, was kind of definitely a problem. Like, oh my god, where was everything? And then they had the moment where like Vecna was almost dead, and Joyce got her moment of being able to kill Vecna, which I think, honestly, if anyone deserved it, it was probably Joyce, for sure. Like, he put her through a lot. Like, oh my god. Joyce was, like, mentally devastated throughout this show because of Vecna. Oh my god. But yeah, they killed Vecna, and then they spent a very long time wrapping everything up, which, like, I'm not against that. I like seeing everything get wrapped up. But before all that, we had 11 sacrifice herself when they destroyed the Upside Down, because the Upside Down was like a rift between Earth and the Abyss. And they destroyed the Upside Down. 11 sacrificed herself. I was like, I was so shocked. I was like, no, wait, 11? No. I mean, when it happened, when she, like, went over there, I was like, wait a second. How did she get over there with all the sound things? So I was like, okay, I didn't really think much of it. But then she sacrifices herself in the Upside Down. It was so sad. I really wanted 11 to have a happy ending in this show. I really wanted it. But I guess they just were not up for that. Which made me really sad. I really wanted her to have that happy ending. But yeah, she sacrificed herself, and then we cut to like a year later, and we see everyone graduate. Max somehow graduates. Dustin cheats on his grades and gets valedictorian. And then Dustin did Eddie's graduation plan, which I loved so much. Because it was such a cool tribute to Eddie. It was just awesome. And we saw, like, they had, like, a memorial for the people who died in the earthquake, which it's crazy that the public never found out about everything. That's actually one of the craziest parts of the show, is that somehow everything was kept from the public. I'm so shocked. And we see how everyone's, like, moved on with their lives. Like, a lot of people went to college. I mean, Nancy dropped out of college. Steve's a baseball coach, which is really funny. And him and Dustin still hang out, which I love. And yeah, at the very end, the show ends with Mike, Will, Lucas, Dustin, and Max playing D&D, which I love that the show ended the way that it started. It's honestly so perfect for this show. It makes a lot of sense. I'm glad that they did that. But yeah, the show ends the way it started. And we see Mike give his theory on Eleven's death, where he proposes that Kali didn't die when she got shot. And she projected, like, 11 sacrificing herself to make the military think that she was dead. And 11, like, ran away to just far away. And then she found a place with 3 waterfalls, which is, oh my god, it was so cool that they showed her there. Which is, like, here's the thing, they showed all that. They showed a shot of her there, but there's, like, oh, her ending is, it's, like, up for debate. Like, we don't know for sure. Like, it's up to the viewer to interpret it. Like, you basically confirm that she lived. And also the thing is, like, when she's dying, she doesn't have the 11 tattoo. Her nose isn't bleeding because she's using her powers to stop everyone from getting to her when she dies. So, it makes sense. Like, obviously it makes sense. That is the ending that I think is the real ending. Is that 11 survived and ran away. And I think she's really in that place with the 3 waterfalls. And yeah, we see like Holly and her friends play D&D, and then the show ends with a really cool credit sequence and Heroes by David Bowie. Great song. And yeah, that's the end of the show. I enjoyed season 5. I enjoyed the finale. I'm gonna say a really hot take. I thought season 5 was better than season 4. I think season 2 is definitely my least favorite season, probably. But I think if I had to rank them, I would say season 3 is my favorite. Season 1 is my second favorite. Season 5 is in the middle. Season 4 is, like, second worst. And season 2 is the worst, which I know is a really hot take, but it's my take. I'm allowed to have my own take. So that's my opinion on Stranger Things. And, like, I will say, there were definitely quite a bit of flaws with the finale. But I still enjoyed it. I still really enjoyed it. So that's what matters to me. I mean, they did release that documentary. I haven't watched it, but a lot of people were pointing out things in it where, like, a lot of the writers were pointing out that there should be monsters in the abyss. Or, like, and they should have to, like, fight them before they fought Vecna. And and the Duffer Brothers were just like, yeah, maybe, yeah. And they didn't do anything with that. Clearly, I feel like the Duffer Brothers should have listened to their team because I think it could have been better. And there was, like, allegedly that they were using AI, which I don't know if that's true. It might be. Which, oh my god, please. I hope not. I hope that the ending of Stranger Things wasn't written by AI. That would be bad if it was. But yeah, those are my opinions on Stranger Things. And like I've been saying, Stranger Things is great. It may have its low points, but it is great. It's a great show. I really, really liked it. And also, they're coming out with, like, the spin-off, Tales of 85, which it's gonna mess the canon a little bit because they, like, basically pretty much are like, yeah, everything between season 2 and season 3 was chill, but it takes place between those seasons, which is, like, weird. And then we have this Nikki character who's not mentioned in the show, so I don't get it. I don't think Tales of 85 is gonna be canon, but I don't know. I'm probably not even gonna watch it. But, like, I wonder if they'll do any other spin-offs. I'm willing to bet that at some point there will be another spin-off to this show. I think it's easily possible. Well, I mean, I know SNL was making jokes about Stranger Things spin-offs. But yeah. And so, thank you for listening to this episode of the Entertainment Chat. And for getting to the end, I will give you my impression of Police Chief Jim Hopper. Choice, drive!